because it is about being a missionary and a sister, is that you find yourself in a community. Comboni, always community. He did not like the idea of, especially among the priests or brothers, people being on their own because they become isolated. In the community, whether, it's tough sometimes, but you have people around you with the same desire to make God felt among the people that you're living with. And also spiritually, not spiritually, concretely, you're in a community of people who have a different lifestyle, different language, a different religion very often. And this makes you more deeply spiritual yourself, seeking to find this God, this wonderful spiritual world which becomes almost concrete, and to let that be shown to the people that you live among, both the community and yourself. I think that's important. And also developing that, you develop your own spirituality as a person. I think that's important, that you don't go on a line of, you do it this way and you do it that way. No, there's not a set pattern for everybody. There is spirituality. I remember one time stopping my students in the middle of a lesson. It was a lesson in the evening, 6 o'clock start, and my students were in front of me. I was teaching them, and there was the most beautiful sunset outside of the window. I stopped the lesson. I said, stop for a minute, look out of that window and marvel at the beauty. And they did so. A few moments only. And then we continued. Years and years later, when I was actually going to leave Eritrea, I had been asked to come home, and the students, some of them, by now 70 years old, they had come to greet me again. This had been organised by the embassy, the British embassy. And these students came along, and one of them said, do you remember the time that you stopped the lesson and asked us to look at the sunset? And I said, yeah, I do remember that. I remember it very clearly. I must say another thing about that too. In a spiritual way, my best friend, my Anam Chara, and she taught me a lot about that marvelling at the beauty of nature, especially the sea. She loved the sea. And just looking at an animal, how they're made, that moment when you feel something there. If you've got a special dog in your life or another animal, they look at you and for a second you feel it. And that is the love of God Himself, the Creator, for me.